Klau Mich.
Radikalismus in der Gesellschaft.
Trifft auf Fernsehexperiment.
Ein Projekt von Dora Garcia.
Kamera Jörg Ruckel.
Tonmischung Hannes Kuchenbecker.
Licht, Ton und Musik.
Technische Ausstattung und Übertragung offener Kanal Kassel.
Professionelles Publikum, Theater Chaosium.
Ihr Gastgeber war Mich.
Eine Produktion von Documenta 13.
It's always defined as an artwork that uses the format of an talk show. So the format has been very careful design. The stage set took a very long time to design. It's a kind of sandwich of different talk shows that have been modeling the talk show, the Klau formally and content-wise. The three talk shows that are, there are many others that are important in the content, regarding content, but regarding form is the Andy Kaufman show, which was looked a lot like the Muppet Show too. I think he took it from there, and I took it from Andy Kaufman, and that's why it looks a bit circus-like. Then it was the Dick Cavett, which I liked very much because it had this very attractive carpet on it. And the Dean Martin show, which mainly it was very interesting because of the movements that Dean Martin did, the door, the stairs, the bar, but we couldn't put a bar in the end. And also this kind of distance between the audience and the talk show, because there are some talk shows where the audience is in the set, and in this one there is a distance. So these were the three shows that determined the form of the ants. Because we wanted, then we had a problem with the background of the, so that means the background, I mean the literal background. So it came in the form of an inspiration from a very popular German talk show, which it was not a talk show, it was a contest, I think it's called, so like, you know, where people have to, how you call that, a quiz. That was called Dali Dali, and this Dali Dali is what makes this kind of structure a bit like in Dali Dali was like a bee hive, and this one is squares, but they are nevertheless, you see the back of you realize that it is a kind of decor construction. When working in Germany, the idea was to explore, using this format, to explore the anti-authority movements in Germany. These anti-authority movements, they existed everywhere in the world, more or less at the same time. But in Germany they were special because of the National Socialist past, and because in the Bundesrepublik, in the Allemagne de l'Ouest, comme tout le monde sait, as everyone knows, the process of denazification was stopped very soon because it was more urgent anti-communism than anti-Nazism. Klau Mich, which means Steal Me. It is the title of a book published in '68 that was made by the people of the Commune 1 or the Commune 1 in Berlin, which was a very kind of a seminal place where many movements were born. It was the place of revolt, where the more playful movements were born, and the more violent movements were born too. So it was really a kind of embryo of everything that happened afterwards. And in this case there is a specific reference to art, because the case was that they were arrested because they were distributing flyers encouraging people to burn warehouse stores to get that Vietnam feeling in Berlin too. So they were tried out at a moment where the word terrorism didn't exist. So they were tried for disorder, public disorder, encouragement to revolt, and they were set free. They were declared innocent because this was considered to be art in a tradition of situationism and Dadaism, Many teachers came to speak in their favor to explain what it was, and therefore it was harmless, so they were set free. And it was barely 2 weeks afterwards when there was a real fire set in Frankfurt, in the Cafe Frankfurt Kaufhaus West Frankfurt, that was set by the people of the Rotterdam Fraction before there was the Rotterdam Fraction, because there was not yet a Rotterdam Fraction. So it was in the same movement. They say on the one hand there was a sort of harmless, good humor performance in public space, and on the other hand, they say the seminal violence was there as well. So these relations, the relation between revolt, violence, play, art, aggression, revolt, revolution, this is a bit what is the core of the program.
Unbefriedigt.
Ich bin noch immer
Unbefriedigt.
Ich bin noch immer
Unbefriedigt.
I was always very interested in performance, but I hated to see myself. So I tried to find a solution for this, that I could see what I wanted to see without me being in the center of it. I think it's a kind of phobia that many people have, and I have it too. I really can't bear to see myself in the image. So I started to work with other people, and this had a kind of bonus. And the bonus was that I could not, because I did not allow myself, once I instructed them, let's say I told them the kind of situation I wanted them to get in, I did not allow myself to interfere afterwards. And so this means that they had always the final decision had to be taken by the performer, and it was not always what I would have done. So this allowed myself to become as well a spectator of my own performance and to be surprised by the results. And so this was very satisfying from the very first time, and so I started to develop this idea. Everything that happens in an encounter between the artwork and the audience is meaningful, and not only what can be measured as the object itself, but also the space where they are, the moment of the day, the kind of institution where is it presented, who is the public, what kind of education has the public, what are the interests of the public. So all these little these big and small events and conditions are important to construct, and actually they are as well items where the artistic practice can be constructed to the point that almost the artistic object doesn't have any importance anymore, because everything is placed in the circumstances of this artistic object is shown. So it's in this encounter where I work. So after working with this in different forms, then I found some popular culture examples of this, which I found very interesting. For instance, Annie Kaufman was one of them. Also Lenny Bruce, for instance, and in the case of Lenny Bruce, he was even I don't know how you say that in English, making theory about it while he was speaking, also in his speeches, or in his, it was a stand-up, but in a way it was a kind of speech that he was addressing the audience. He was really, the big subject was the audience, and how the audience wishes to be, challenged by the artist, very much being outraged by the artist. They like to get excited about what the artist says, but not too much. If you go a bit too far, then they're not happy anymore, and then they can really destroy you, like in the case of Lenny Bruce. And maybe in the case of many other artists or authors. So in this kind of equilibrium and kind of constant negotiation, because how to say it is not, doesn't exist one audience in abstract, there are many different types of audience, and you have to be aware all the time to which kind of audience you're talking to. Or you can decide to completely, not care about what kind of audience, but you have to be aware of the consequences of this. Springing from that, or coming from that, coming from this idea that in the Klau Mich historical event they were free because they were, it was art what they were doing, there came this idea that perhaps art was protecting the artists. This is just an idea, it is not true. And because it's protecting the artist, you can actually say everything you want. It is true sometimes, and sometimes you don't.
Herzlich willkommen. A very warm welcome to you, our live audience here at Ständehaus in Kassel, and also to our professional audience, Theater Chaosium.
Ja, und ein herzliches Willkommen natürlich auch zu unseren Zuschauern zu Hause vor ihren Fernsehgeräten in Kassel und auch in Österreich und in der Schweiz.
And we won't forget to greet our audience all over the world, the spectators, now whose guests we are in their very living rooms, perhaps, thanks to the World Wide Web. Just before we begin, a little question.